Okay, just want to quickly go through a way of calibrating the XYZ heated bed, the XYZ 1.0, without having to use the inbuilt software, which is quick and easy, and it works for some people. I mean, I read about it online, I've used it before, it works for me, so I'm just going to go through it now. So the first thing to do is set yourself off a sample print. So just go ahead and do that. Go through the menu, build sample, any sample, whatever is fine. So let's just go to the keychain, set that off. Yep, and that's going to heat the nozzle up. And what we want is the nozzle to come down to the bed, and then we want it to start lay down the foundation strip to the part where it lays down the first strip of the entire part. And then what we're going to do is stop it as it's doing that, so that we've got the nozzle right down on the glass bed. So that will require the machine having to go through initial calibration. You have to get it through, you know, the calibration at that stage. Okay, I'll come back when we've got to that stage. Okay, so while it's still printing that first strip, go and basically just switch the machine off. So make sure it's laying down the first strip. Okay, so what you want to do at this stage is, while the print head's still hot, is to actually move the carriage around by hand from the top. Should be pretty easy without much resistance. Move it to the back left corner of the bed, fairly near to the pad, the little metal pad. Get yourself a piece of paper, any paper really. I say any paper, the internet's divided on the exact size that the paper, the thickness that the paper needs to be. I use basically print paper, and that's good for me, but experiment. Now stick that underneath the print head, slide it underneath, and you want to get the adjuster, sorry, get out of the way of the camera, get the adjuster with one hand, keep checking if your paper is being held by the extruder, touching down on the bed, and adjust it carefully up until eventually, yep, you feel the paper being gripped by the metal nib of the extruder. And you want to do this while it's hot, because obviously it expands a bit when it's hot. It's going to be a bit of a different size from when it's not hot. So it's important you get it hot before with that test print. And let me just get this perfect. You want it to just grip the paper, but not too much, so that, yeah, you can pull the paper up without too much resistance. Okay, and after you've done the back left corner, you want to go over to the right, and let's just maneuver that into place. Yep, okay, that'll do. Again, paper in. Okay, and again, just adjust it up. Suspect half the time I go the wrong way on these things. And there you go. Okay, that's just gripping the paper nicely. Give it a second go, to make sure we're good. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and now we want to do the last part, which is the front middle. Let's just slide the carriage up to the front middle. Okay. That's good. Let's just firstly this way. Let's just slack it off a bit to make sure we get the paper in there. Okay. Okay, that's gripping a bit too hard, you can see that. So just let it off. Okay, yeah, that's good. And that's it. That bed now should be fairly nicely calibrated. If you power up now, the printer will reset its head back to the normal position. Should do. Okay, there you go. One more tip I've got, and that is what you want to use. People use different things to get stuff to stick to the bed. I generally use this. This Yoo-hoo stick, which is great. I got it from Staples in the UK. I know people in the States use different stuff. People around the world use different stuff. This really works for me. It's great. Basically, I tried using Pritt stick, and that just stuck down and got hot and dried as it got hot, and then basically went really hard, which was a nightmare getting it off of the bed as well. I've used tape with varying levels of success. This stuff always works for me. I just put a layer of this down, clean it off every time after you've used it, of course, but put a layer of this stuff down, thin layer, and it sticks like anything to it, but it doesn't go hard when the bed heats up, which is really good. Okay, so get yourself some of that if you've got a Davinci. It's fantastic stuff.